Hey everybody, Schizophrenia Cast. So we're
Schizophrenia cast here. How you doing? How's your day
It's
going?
me, Schizophrenia Cast. Shut up. Okay, let's restart it.
No, this is a good intro. All right, today we're talking about the movie Clerks, favorite by everybody. I think 20 years and up.
I think so. Well, not now. I think maybe like 30, right? I don't know if the new kids are gonna be. I don't think the Zoomers know what Clerks is, right?
No, the Zoomers don't know what Clerks is, but we watched the movie with our co-host Chance. He's a
Chance.
Zoomer, and he seemed to enjoy it. He thought there was a lot of truth in it, and he really identified with the characters and everything. So I think it is a 20-something-year-old movie, honestly, because I used to identify with them too, and then I watch it and it's like, damn, Dante's a bitch. Randall's still cool, but it's like sometimes he's like unnecessarily an asshole. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because he's an asshole to people who deserve it, but there's a lot of people in that movie that don't deserve it.
he's very, he's he's very cynical about everybody too. But it kind of serves him well for the job that he does. So like, I mean, when 8 out of 10 people are dickheads that you meet, like the two people that you meet that aren't, you know, if you're an asshole to them, then it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. So yeah, this is Kevin Smith's first movie, I believe. Besides the little shorts that he did beforehand, this is his first major movie, produced by Harvey Weinstein, our favorite.
oh
Um,
yeah, the I don't know if I should say what he
did he go to
I don't
jail?
I think for 3 years, yeah.
Okay, so he did go to jail.
Um,
Okay, so the convicted that guy.
yeah, the convicted
He knows what he did. So
convicted Joe Biden. Uh,
yeah. So yeah, his first movie. It's the first movie that I ever seen from Kevin Smith. Actually, funny enough, the story behind that is, I the first time I saw that movie, I was getting movies from Hollywood Video. Apparently, Hollywood Video had gone out of business. We all know that now. Maybe people out there that don't come from California don't know what a Hollywood Video is. It's basically just Blockbuster. It's like a cheap knockoff of Blockbuster, even though Hollywood Video would always do stuff first. So Hollywood Video was going to have business, and they were just pretty much just giving away movies. It's 50-cent movies, $1.50, whatever. Just grab whatever you wanted. And I went at the tail end of it, so there wasn't very much left except for foreign movies and kind of indie movies. That was all that was left because everybody, of course, had taken all the major studio movies or whatever. The softcore porn. It was all gone. Um,
God damn it.
Hollywood Video had softcore porn. I don't know why, but they um they had taken everything. So I mean, it worked out at the end because for like $50, I got a bunch of Takashi Miike movies, Gozu, Dead or Alive, Ichi the Killer, Ichi One. All those movies I got a bunch of those. A lot of indie movies. Um, and one of the movies was Clerks. So I took it home. I watched it. At that point, I think we had only known Kevin Smith for, not that you watched it with me. You watched it later, but when I watched it, the only movies I had known from Kevin Smith was what's it called? Dogma and Mallrats.
Mallrats?
Yeah, because they would play them on the Channel 13 every day. Well, Channel 13 UPN for anybody out there. Uh, the CW now, right? I think
I
so.
think there's PW now, yeah.
Yeah, so they would just play it on UPN like nonstop. That was like our go-to channel. So because we used to watch Martin and Family Matters, Living Single, so we just
Hanging with
watch
Mr.
UPN.
Cooper,
Hanging
the
with Mr.
four
Cooper. Yeah.
the same 4 episodes.
So yeah, that was yeah. So we watched that or whatever because we were like poor black kids, I guess. I don't
You
know
were
what.
poor black. I was born a poor black child.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so we watched that. And yeah, back in the day, as an how old was I? 16, 17, probably 18, like year old guy. No, 18, I think. Um, like living on their own. Well, not living on their own, but having a dead end job and all that stuff. You can really identify with it, right, Denny?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I when I watched it with you, I'm slightly younger than you.
Hmm.
So when I watched it with you, I was like mostly focusing on school and stuff like that. So I didn't really get it. as much. I mean, I understood that this was like a normal part of growing up for most people. Nowadays, it's like it's not the same. Back then, that's what I thought, but I didn't really understand it until I was like a couple years later when I was in one of those dead end jobs for so long. So, I mean, I still am in a dead end job, but like, one
Yeah.
of those, it's a very specific type of dead end job. But yeah, so the first time that I watched it was with you. Uh, so I guess you understood it a bit more than I did at that time. Um, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I suppose that like, and it's a very specified job where you're just kind of working by yourself. The manager isn't around all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
you're
is which it was amazing not having the manager around because like at first I think I was a good employee, like trying to be a really good employee, but then towards the end of it I was just like just mouthing off to people and just pretty much kicking people out and just breaking stuff.
um
I don't
me
care. What are
too.
they gonna do? Come after me, fuckers.
Yeah, sue me for your fucking thrift shit. So, okay, for those that wait,
Yeah.
should we do the okay, so we what so why did we decide to review this movie? I guess it's because of that, really, because
Well, because we were gonna watch it with Chance and then get his input in it, but then he didn't fucking remember anything that happened in the movie, so we just
that's
decided
true.
to do
Yeah,
it
so
just us or whatever.
yeah, that's true. So, yeah, I guess those this yeah. So, I guess yeah, I guess nowadays everybody can relate to this movie. I mean, some of us like going
People.
further than your early 20s.
Hmm.
Um, and maybe hopefully like not into your 40s. For some people that's the case. But yeah, it's if you've ever worked at a gas station, if you've ever worked at like, a convenience store like Dante, if you ever worked for us it was like a thrift shop where it was like a small kind of pop-up thrift shop where the manager's not around and you're kind of in charge of everything.
Yeah,
Uh,
think of those like little vintage clothing spots at your at the strip mall, basically. I
exactly.
know everybody's got those around.
Yeah, you can relate to this movie. Um, so it's funny that you just by chance found it in the only thing that was left at the at the clearance sale was only the best movies.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
um, so yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
what the hell? Navy? They don't. Who took Navy SEALs?
yeah, exactly.
Damn it.
So I guess I guess fucking Toy Soldiers. Toy Soldiers is gone. Um, so like for Kevin for this so yeah, Kevin Smith really like this is basically Kevin Smith's life story also. So yeah, he transposed his own life into a really relatable movie that most people, I mean especially now, you can put yourself into it. Um all right, so I guess we'll start doing the recap now, right, Tony?
Yes.
Okay, so the movie starts with Dante uh, waking up in his closet for some reason, and falling out of it. He gets a phone call from his manager, and his manager says to come in that he needs him to come into work today, and he'd be doing him a favor by doing it. And then and it's supposed to be his day off. So so he argues with his manager saying, I'm tired. I'm only gonna be there until 12. All right. Now keep that in mind because that's another thing that like a lot of younger kids fall prey to, especially if you, especially when we'll talk about it more later on in the movie or later on in the recap. So he gets ready, goes to work. Uh, he gets to his he works at a convenience store, like we mentioned earlier. He tries to open up the store's like security gate for the windows, but it's jammed with gum. So he has to put up a sign that says, we're open. Um, and so should we talk about like what it's like being in charge of like a store like this, Tony? Or
Mhm. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so when you're a manager or like I guess if you're not working at like a McDonald's or like a grocery store as your first job, when you're at a job where the manager isn't always around, you're basically the manager. You're basically like the store owner. You run everything in the shop. You're not only like the underpaid employee, but you do everything basically.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, if like a big problem comes up and you're not sure what to do because you're just a kid that doesn't know how to do anything, you have to come up with ideas on your own. Um, so that's what Dante does, and he puts the sign out um, just to let people know that it's open. Um, and so he opens up the shop on, I assume, on time, maybe a little bit late. And the first, which is funny because I forgot that this movie has what are those cards called when it's like a French film where they basically tell you the theme of the next scene. It's like a cue card.
Oh, hack shit.
Yeah, hack shit. Yeah, it's like the screen is completely black and it's got like white letters that say like vilification.
Yeah.
Um, because the movie's really episodic. So like how Kevin Smith cuts from like episode to episode in Dante's life or Dante's day
Mhm.
at the convenience store, there's a title for it. So the first title card says vilification, which explains the next scene, which is a guy who looks young comes up to the counter and like is going to buy some cigarettes, and so another guy is also there at the counter, and he convinces him not to buy the cigarettes and instead buy some bubble gum because he explains to him, cigarettes are bad for you. Like, look at this picture of this cancer-ridden lung. Um, and so Dante is like just um, watching all this happen, and when another person walks up and asks to buy some cigarettes, to where the guy at the counter who's wearing a suit, the other customer says, "Oh no, you can't do that." Basically, starts the same spiel that he was saying to the other the previous like customer before him, and so cuts to um, cuts to the outside of the convenience store, um, where it introduces the two drug dealers that hang outside the convenience store, uh, which is played by the director Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, his like friend. And they just kind of hang out there for a little bit. It shows them like talking about some bullshit, and and a guy comes up to him to buy drugs from them. The guy that buys drugs for them is played by the editor of the movie and later the producer of a lot of Kevin Smith's movies, Scott Mosier.
Mhm.
Um, the
The acclaimed producer of Freebirds.
Yeah, that movie about like Thanksgiving turkeys.
Yeah, Turkey's
Um,
going to the past to play the shitting heaves that suck
that
ass.
suck ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so after so like cut back to the inside of the store where the guy in the suit is like talking to a crowd of people, like like preaching to them about the evils of the big cigarette companies and how Dante is a puppet of the big cigarette companies and how he's basically blaming Dante for peddling cigarettes and he calls him a Nazi at one point, by the way. So that means that Dante is the never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke. um, so while all this is happening, Dante is like stupefied at what's going on. Tony, do you want to say something about like what it's like to be a person like a hapless employee of like a store where this is happening?
Oh, like that? Well, yeah. I mean, of course, all the time, especially in our business or whatever, when it comes to uh, vintage things and secondhand stuff, people get they huff their own farts all the time. They get right up their own ass with things, you know.
That's true, but
They
it's
just
also
they're just
like
like, oh, you got this for you bought this for Yeah, it's because it's called turning a profit, idiot. You know what I mean? Do you not
well,
know
I
how
mean,
to? You know what I mean? They either get up their own ass about how much or their own morality about how you're selling stuff, or they're like the character in the movie where they're some kind of piece of shit reseller. You know what I mean? Trying to get the
that's
one up on you, so they can get the one up on somebody else. Resellers are the worst people in the world, by the way.
well, another thing too is that there's a lot of random shit that happens when you're like um just kind of standing there. Like the people that come in and out of um like a business,
Hmm.
it's the weirdest shit. And they'll start like, I mean, they're not even really customers, honestly, too. Like there's like just people that are, I don't know, they just waste time inside the fucking store, and it's like, are you gonna buy anything, or are you just like harassing people and me as well as a captive audience to whatever the fuck you decided needed to take up your time that day?
Yeah.
Um, so like in this case, well, what Tony was saying, um, the next person that walks in the store as this guy's doing this big spiel is Dante's girlfriend Veronica. Um, to where she breaks up the because they're about to mob Dante.
Yeah.
He
They're about to
you know what
they're about to five-letter word Dante.
starts with an L. Well, I think what is it called? There's a very famous director whose first name starts with David and ends with this word, Dante.
uh,
Which, by the way, we need to do some reviews about his movies. But
the only one I would really love to do is Blue Velvet. That's it.
oh yeah, that's a good one.
All his other movies are very good, but I don't want to talk about them.
Okay, I got you.
I mean, who? I mean, oh God, what are we gonna talk about? Eraserhead? Shut
Yeah, it's
up.
pretty good. Yeah,
Pretentious cart crap. All right.
we'll leave that up to Jay from Red Letter Media. But
Yeah.
so
More
fucking
like gay. All right. So. Go ahead.
dude, that talk about a dude who helps his own fart. Well, whatever.
No, not Jay. Don't start
Take
a
that,
feud with Red Letter Media. Mike, we love you. We love you, Mike.
take that, dork. So so yeah, Veronica breaks it up by like shooting what is it called, a fire extinguisher at the mob. Um, and like as they all scatter, and
Scatter.
as the dude who started the whole mob and like riled them up, the dude in the suit
he
starts
tries to
leaving.
he tries to comically slink away.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, well, I think my she like catches him and is like, hey, what's your deal or whatever, like what's your yeah, what's up with you? He gives her like a I think she asks him for his credentials, and she gives him like a business card, or so. He gives her a business card, and he works for a gum company, like a chewing gum company. So he was shilling for big chewing gum um the whole time. Uh and so she kicks him out of the store cuz Dante can't stand up for himself, um while like lambasting the crowd of dudes that was in there. Um and uh and then one of them tries to buy some cigarettes right afterwards. Um to which Dante gives him the cigarettes and doesn't say anything because he has no backbone. Um so after that, Dante is being Veronica consoles Dante behind the counter. They're like both sitting
Not
back
in that
there, like
way.
not in that way, but well, maybe maybe she would have. But um she's like yeah, she's consoling him back there. I guess he needs like some therapy or something like that after that whole situation. um and they put up a sign that says like, leave the money on the counter, just take whatever you want and leave the money on the counter. um and so I guess they're talking for a little bit about how shitty his job is. And I guess they have a long conversation because the conversation moves towards um just bullshit that couples talk about in their early 20s, which mostly revolves around sex. um
Yeah, because that's all you did together at that point.
yeah, that's all you really care about, I guess, with each other. So uh
Well, that's all you've done together. You know what I mean?
That's true. Um, so they start talking about like I guess how easy it is um to please a man versus pleasing a woman, to where Dante like says like he's a hero because he gave a woman an orgasm a couple times or something like
He gave
that.
a woman an orgasm one time. He's cool.
Yeah, exactly. So and
What you knows if it's true because the next part of this is like I don't know. I feel like it's an exaggeration, even though the movie doesn't say or imply that he's exaggerating. I feel like he's a big liar anyway.
yeah, he's kind of a douche.
Yeah, Dante's not a very nice guy, at least at the beginning of the movie.
He's pretty insecure, obviously, because well, I mean, he has no backbone, but like
Yeah, we'll get to
at,
that. Anyways,
yeah, and
let's not
so
dwell too much on this scene because it's not very important.
that's
But good.
true.
Yeah.
So so after consoling Dante for a little bit, yeah, they talk about sex, and then and so Dante says that it's easy to please a man. You just like put you just have to be there if you're a woman, and it's very impressive for a man to please a woman, and so
Yeah. Which
and so
it's like I said, so it's like that's something that like a freaking dork would say, because only like a dork would care about pleasing a woman. Like, just do your like I did my 30 seconds. Now I'm gonna fucking ride my Porsche to my mansion.
yeah,
I don't give a
exactly.
fuck. See you later, loser.
Yeah, exactly. Get in the car, loser. We just pleased the woman.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so do a pop a wheelie in your Harley. So so that to which Veronica like argues against that and says, no, it's actually very difficult to please a man as well. Like they have specific needs and whatnot. And then they start talking about how many partners they had. Dante, I think, says he had like six, and Veronica says three. Three. She's had three partners.
She's had 3 sexos.
Yeah, exactly. She's fucked three guys, and so after that, she got mad at Dante for saying like how many women he slept with.
Even
Calling
though
him a
she
pig.
asked.
She asked. I know. Called him a pig. That's really realistic.
Called him a pig. Why'd you say it like Trump?
She called
She.
him okay. We're not getting distracted with Trump jokes.
Alright,
Okay.
okay.
So after that they get they talked for a little bit, and he's like, oh shit, I better like get back to the store. Um, they get up off the counter floor to where Scott Mosier's character is standing there waiting for someone to ring him up for like a cup of coffee that he's trying to buy. Um, and so Dante rings him up,
Which, by the way,
and
this place has the best coffee in the world because everybody that goes in there is either getting cigarettes or coffee.
yeah, exactly. So I get back in the day, I guess they didn't have Starbucks. I don't know if this is before that,
Well,
but whatever.
convenience stores were the Starbucks, but yeah, go ahead. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Um, so Veronica recognizes Scott Mosier and introduces him to Dante. Um, and then I think she calls him Snowball as he's leaving. Um, or oh no, Dante
No,
asks,
she.
who's
Yeah, who is that?
yeah, who is that? Is that a friend of yours or something? She's like, oh yeah, that's Snowball. It's like, oh, that's an old guy that I knew, and it's like, oh, why do you call him Snowball? It's like, oh, because um, when you give a guy a blowjob, and when he finishes inside your mouth, and you spit it back into his mouth, that's called snowballing. So he liked that, so that's why I called him Snowball.
And then Dutch
He's
is
like,
like, well, maybe he'll like this bull in the back of his head.
I mean, that's what a normal dude would do, but not Dante. So like, so Dante like gets angry. He's like, "How do you know that?" And then she's like, "Well, because I did that to him." It's like, "What do you mean? Is
What
that
the
part of your
fuck?
three guys?" Like,
Uh
so that you slept with that guy before. He gets like really angry, um, and she's all like, "No, that wasn't part of the three guys that I had sex with." And it's like, "What do you mean?" And then she's like explains that she doesn't count blowjobs as sex. Um, and so he's like, "Oh, so then how many guys have you given blowjobs to?" And then she says, well, counting that guy, 37.
No, 36.
36. Okay. Like
Yeah,
he's
and he's
counting.
like, including me? And she's like, 37?
Yeah.
Which is very funny. It's a very good
So where
line.
he, yeah, so where he gets, Dante gets really angry with her,
He gets
and
super butthurt.
yeah, he gets really butthurt about it. Oh, Dante had sex with 12 girls, which is
What a
probably
fucking liar!
yeah, exactly.
What a fucking liar!
Yeah, especially at that age.
Especially Dante.
Especially Dante. Yeah, that
Motherfucker needs
motherfucker.
to do some sit-ups.
Yeah,
So, anyways,
exactly.
go ahead. No offense to the actor that played him. You did a really good job, guy.
I don't think that Kevin Smith has had sex with more than 5 girls, but because this is basically Kevin Smith's story. So
I don't think Kevin Smith has had sex with anybody besides his wife, which good for him. He's a good Christian man, but yeah.
he's a good. He's no, he's not. He's a shill. Pause, motherfucker. So we'll talk about Kevin Smith later, but
Oh, he's gonna get it. All right, go
so
ahead.
again, so Dante is like besides himself, and like yells at Veronica, to which she storms off and says he yells, "Try not to suck any dicks on the way to your house or whatever." Oh no, wait, she's going to work, and so where some guy starts following her, and then he's like, "Hey, get back here," um, old man joke. Okay,
Yeah.
so that stops. Okay, so that stops the that episode um to where a new title card comes up and it says Randall. So I don't know if vilification had anything to do with Veronica villainizing Dante or Dante becoming the villain of his own story or what have you. Um but the next title card is titled Randall, to where we're introduced to uh basically what you'll become if you work at one of these jobs long enough.
Yeah.
Um, you start off as Dante, and then me and Tony both become Randall.
No, you start off as like a fresh-faced like go-getter. Then you turn into
Yeah.
Dante, then you turn into Randall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. To where the scene begins with Dante talking to an old guy, and he's complaining that the video store next door is not open. And he's like saying that guy over at the video store is a giant asshole. Um, and is like always late and the store's never open. Um, and never open on time. And then Dante's like, well, what the fuck you want me to do about it? It's like, you guys have the same boss. So like, I don't know, I don't know, complain to him or something like that. Cut to the outside of the video store where some lady's waiting, and walks up a guy wearing like his fucking Canadian tuxedo. Um,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy.
yeah, that's where
With a
he's
fucking
wearing.
Canadian tuxedo, I forgot about that.
Well, that guy is important because she's like saying, "Oh, I want to be here right when the store opens, so I can get a video." Do we need to explain what a video rental place is?
I don't know. I don't think. No, no. Okay, we're not gonna be those guys. We're not gonna be the guys who are like, oh, Zoomers don't know how to use a can opener. They know how to use a fucking can opener. Just because your retarded grandson doesn't know how to use a can opener because you didn't raise your fucking son right. You know what I mean? Because you ignored your fucking son and he hates you, and he did the same thing with his son that he didn't even teach his son how to use a can opener. Doesn't mean that the whole generation doesn't know how to use a can opener, dumb boomer. So, Urban?
Well, anyway, so if you don't know how to use a can opener, right? You you get the can by the anyway. So that's gonna be me. Um, I guess oh, okay. The next scene actually explains why Randall. So okay, so the lady argues with the dude in the Canadian tuxedo and about getting the movie, and he's all like, "Well, you're not gonna get that movie. I'm gonna get that movie first." And then she's like, "Oh, you want?" She's like, "Nope, I'm definitely gonna get it." And then he's all like, "I bet you like $20 that I'm gonna get the movie first." Um, to where she's like, "Okay, bet." And so he walks over to the convenience store, um, and talks to Dante. Lo and behold, it's Randall, the dude who's supposed to be running the shop. He gets the key to the shop from Dante, along with like 3 movies that old guy rented. Um, and he walks back to the store and says, opens up the store and says, "See, I told you I was going to get that movie before you," to the lady. And so he opens the store, and that's your introduction to Randall. Uh, So that that was a short scene. So the next title card comes up and it's called Syntax. Um,
Is it? It's called syntax, really?
yeah,
What does
it's
that even
titled
mean?
Syntax.
It's just some
Um,
cool shit that he thought would. Yeah. It basically is.
yeah. So excuse me for a second.
Excuse me
Uh,
for a second. I have to shit.
well, no, it's sorry, my notes here are buffering. So
Hell yeah. Good.
um, should we talk? Well, I mean, well, one thing I want to say about Randall is like he opens the store late. With these like no manager on the premises stores, you kind of just stop. If you don't give a fuck, then you don't really have any consequences for what you do.
Mhm.
Um, so uh so the next scene, Randall like goes to hang out with Dante. And it shows a little bit of Randall's day where he's ordering movies. Where he's ordering movies in front of this lady and her kid. And
Oh,
she's
that's
asking,
right. Yeah.
which Randall's a fucking dickhead, but
Yeah, I told you. That's what I'm saying. It's like I used to think that Randall was the coolest motherfucker ever, which is probably why I started abusing people at my job. But
but you miss a couple things.
yeah,
Yeah, you miss a
like
couple things when you grow up a little bit because we're past this age, I think.
yeah.
Um,
Well, you think everybody's like that? It's like, but then you see like he's kind of like napalm. He just kind of is setting everything on fire indiscriminately. You know?
yeah, exactly. That's actually a good description for it.
Yeah.
So he's ordering some movies to where this lady and her kid are waiting for him to finish ordering the movies, and she's asking for like a movie for a kid. I think it's like I don't know, something about a dog going to the zoo.
Yeah,
And
puppy
so
goes
he's
to the
like,
zoo or something like that. It's like really generic sounding, so they don't get sued.
yeah, and so like Randall is ordering some movies over the phone to where they're all porno movies. And so he's ignoring her, like saying all these porno, like these horrifying porno movie titles in front of her and her kid. Um, I don't know if they filmed this in front of the kid. I hope not. I don't remember what
No,
Kevin
I don't
Smith
think
said.
I think Kevin Smith said that they filmed two different things. He didn't do it in front of the kid.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
I think he was saying cuz I watched the movie. I love this movie so much I watched it and I watched it with the director's commentary, which I never do with movies.
oh
So
right,
I watched
right.
it with the director's commentary too, and it was actually it was really good. And he said that yeah, Randall didn't. I think the guy who played Randall didn't feel comfortable saying that stuff in front of the little kids, so they had to film it separately so he could actually get through the scene.
Oh God, I can't believe. Well, they're from Jersey, so I guess I can believe that the mom would allow that in front of her kid.
Yeah.
But so there's a lot of trashy people out in the world. So so yeah, they that part happens. Cut to Dante. Like someone calls him on the phone saying that there was someone calls him. I think he calls somebody. Oh, I think in his I think Randall is talking to Dante. Uh, sorry, that was before his little event with the kid and his and her mom. Um, to where he's reading the newspaper and he tells in the newspaper it's a small town, so they print when weddings are happening, and they find out that Dante's ex-girlfriend is getting married to some Asian design major.
Yeah.
Uh,
Who they never say is Asian,
and
or
the
they say
design
that
major.
he designs Asian stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we never find out, or do we? I don't remember.
We never
Let's
find
see.
out if he's Asian or if he's into Asian design.
Yeah, exactly. So to where Dante freaks out. Um, he calls the newspaper to verify if it's actually happening. Um, I don't know if he calls her mom or something like that. Uh, but yeah, and yeah, sure enough, yeah, it's happening. She's getting married. Um, I guess Dante's yeah, Dante's really broken up about it cut to the outside of the movie store, convenience store. I don't remember where they're at, but the two drug dealers are talking to some bitch, talking to some girl that walks up to them, where they introduce the Jason Mewes' cousin, who's from, where's he from? Romania or something like that.
He's from Germany, I believe.
Germany. Okay, yeah. He looks like the lead singer from Bastille. Um, you know that band Bastille?
No, I
Um,
don't. This is just
you
real
know,
music hours here.
fucking what is it called? You know that song? Uh, God, what the fuck is the name of the song? It's the volcano in Greece. The the town that got the city that was like got Pompeii. They made that song Pompeii. Um, anyway, yeah, and he's like, they say for I don't know, they tell him to like do a song called Berserker or whatever, and it's very funny, and uh, he's a foreign guy, so it's hilarious because he's
It's
wearing a USA t-shirt.
it's the least funny thing I've ever seen. It's not. I mean, now that I'm older, I can say how like lame it is or whatever. The only funny part I think is like one of the lyrics of the guy's song is like, "Would you like to making fuck?" And then the chick, and then he's like, "Yeah, that's the song. Isn't that good?" And then the chick's like, "Did he say making fuck?" And
Yeah,
then he goes
exactly.
to the next scene. That was the only funny part.
Yeah, exactly. It cuts to
Other than that,
Randall
it's
like
juvenile and not in a good way.
basically, yeah. Cuts to Randall um like watching a movie in the studio, getting bored, and then uh walking to the convenience store to where Dante is like helping a dude who got his fucking dumbass hand stuck in a Pringles can. Um
That part was pretty funny too.
yeah, yeah, fucking people are retarded. I don't know if I can say that on
It's
YouTube.
not real.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, I guess it is. Anyways, go ahead.
Anyway, fucking okay, this is what the movie was known for coming up where Dante and Randall are bullshitting and talking about I guess Randall was bored, so he ends up talking to Dante about Star Wars. Um and so they talk about see, I'm exacerbated a little bit because like fuck Star Wars and fuck nerd shit.
Well, we can go through this one pretty fast. I mean, what do they talk about? They just talk about the ship getting blown up or whatever.
Yeah, the ship getting blown up, and then the people in the second what is it, the second movie where they blow up the Death Star a second time.
Yeah.
Um yeah, they blow up the Death Star a second time. And there apparently, like Randall says, that there's like, you know, probably independent contractors working on it, so they're just casualties of war.
Yeah.
Um and so like I guess the Rebel Alliance is like fucking
Doing
you
war
know,
crimes or
kill
whatever.
war crimes and shit like that. To where like some rando that's in the store like comes up to them and explains that he's an independent contractor, and tells them what's the word? Tells them a story about like one of his friends, uh,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
got a contract for roofing because he's a roofer or whatever. He gives them a card for whatever reason, like they're gonna get through roofs on their house, and
yeah,
he um he says that the when he was doing a roofing job, there was a roofing job for this big mob guy that they were supposed to do or whatever, and he said something didn't feel right about it. You know, he just there was like a mob guy, all that stuff. He's like, nah, I'm out of this one. So his partner goes to go do the roofing job, and the same day that he goes, they shoot up the house, and he gets killed.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So
then so basically that was the story to tell that you know who you're working for, so if you accept the job, it's on you.
exactly.
Yeah.
To where one of the drug dealers, Jason Mewes, steals donuts while they're having this conversation. Um, so yeah, that's another thing too. Is like you get distracted for a little bit, and then you know shit gets fucked up inside your store. Um, so like um, yeah, I hate talking about nerd shit. Really, like
Yeah,
fucking
it's this lamest thing, but it was like it was just kind of a it was just kind of it was a that was a good example of the interesting conversations you'll have with like normal people that are there. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Like
just
that guy
trying
was
to.
just he was just drinking his coffee or whatever, chilling. Didn't seem like a weirdo or anything. That roofing guy.
No, no, not really. I mean, I guess this is, there's a lot of downtime in these jobs at some points.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, when there's nothing to, when the shipment is in and everything's out, there's really nothing to do.
exactly, except for waste time at the convenience at the store, basically.
Yeah.
So you have these conversations, and then you regret them later because you have like horrible conversations with very uninteresting people later on.
Yeah,
Um,
those are the bad ones.
yeah, exactly. So cut to by the way, uh, uh, I've had interactions with coworkers where they're just talking to me about bullshit just so they can waste time. Um, that's when I was a good employee. But so um, you get paid by the hour, people. Um, cut to the next scene is Randall, who's hanging out at the convenience store. I mean, at the movie theater. To where some lady is like asking him like if uh two movies are any good. Like she's like trying to figure out like, is this movie good? Should I waste money renting this movie if it's not going to be any good? To where she asked Randall, is like, have you seen these movies? Are they any good? And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that happens a lot too, where these like fucking retarded ass people come up to you and ask you the stupidest fucking
Yeah.
questions.
They'd come up to, is this is this a real Prada? No, that's why I have it for $10, stupid. Yeah, I put a real Prada for $10.
Yeah, I fucking what is it
It's like,
called?
how can you
Like,
tell this is real?
can I have
You
directions to
you
this?
tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I have directions to this fucking random place or whatever? It's like, fucking use Google Maps, dude. We have it at this point. Like, you want me to look it up on my fucking phone for you? Like, I have things to do. Um, but like,
Can you call this other thrift shop that you have no association with and ask them if they have it?
no, get the fuck
No.
out of here. Like,
We
you
don't
lame
no,
ass
yeah, that has nothing to do with us.
old bitch, get out of here.
Get
So
out of here.
yeah, so this to where he's like, I don't know, fucking like she's like she keeps pestering him, so he's like the one movie you have in the one hand, and she's like, okay. And then so she notices that he's not paying attention. She turns around and asks him again, what about these two movies? And she's like, oh, the one on your right hand is good. And then she's like, you weren't paying attention. And he's like, well, you know she's like, I don't appreciate you not paying attention to my question. And he's like, I don't appreciate your ruse.
Yeah,
And
I
she's like,
appreciate you trying to trick me.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
To
and
where
she's like, yeah,
she gets mad and then throws the fucking movies on the ground and storms off. And then he
yeah,
like he's like, I don't have to take this shit. So he locks up the movie. She locks up the he locks up the movie rental place and then walks over to bullshit with Dante again. Um, so yeah, that happens a lot. There's a lot of people that like
yeah,
think you need to do every stupid thing that comes to their mind just because you work at a place.
yeah. No, they
Um,
really think you they really think that especially in certain states, I will say on the West Coast.
it's
Um,
California. We said California
California, yeah,
earlier.
because neither of us live in California. Fuck it. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're both original Californians. We don't live there anymore, but um, we're from there. And people there, like, I mean, they treat uh, minimum wage workers like slaves over there. It's really disgusting. Like everyone's a prostitute to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Every retarded thing that comes in, especially older people, like
yeah.
every
I mean,
retarded
that's
thing.
everywhere.
Yeah. Every stupid fucking question that they have, like you need to do it. It's like like I said, I have better things to do than fucking answer this fucking retarded ass question. Um, cut to when Randall leaves his shop to go bother Dante, and there's a guy like going through all the egg cartons.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, going through all the egg cartons and like, you know, kind of examining each egg in there. Um, to where Dante and Randall are both like looking at um watching him, Randall asks Dante, like, what the fuck is he doing? And he's like, I have no idea. And then some random lady comes in and says she's a psychologist, telling them, this guy, I don't know, he's got like some weird, like, psychological issue. Uh, I think he's a guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a guidance counselor. Very thematic. And she's
Yeah.
like, many guidance counselors like look for the this is like a weird uh like thing um that for some reason is it happens with guidance counselors. Um and so which I think is I don't know, maybe might be giving Kevin Smith too much credit, but because later on in the movie there is some talk about Dante being unhappy with his life. And so remember that guidance counselor. I don't know if I should talk about it now or later, but I'm okay later. Um, so the next thing that happens is that uh, the guy, well, they watch the guidance counselor. She explains it to them, and then the guidance counselor grabs the eggs and starts smashing them
Yeah.
on
Well, she
the.
also makes a really lame joke where she's like, he's going like through shell shock or some shit like that. It's really
Oh
lame.
God, yeah, Jesus, man.
Also, if this was our store, that lady would have offered to fuck you, Danny.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah. I think she
After
was
she
trying to.
told you she was a psychologist or whatever. Wait, did she say something nasty like that at the end of her thing?
Uh,
Where she
I
said
think she's
she likes sitting on balloons till they explode. She said something weird at the end of it.
yeah, she has some weird fetish or something like that.
Yeah, she has like a
Um,
weird fetish or whatever. And then if that was our store, she would have offered to fuck Danny.
yeah, yeah. Um, no, she manually masturbates caged animals.
Yeah, there we go. That Danny, that's definitely an older lady
That's exactly what would
that masturbates
happen.
masturbates animals would have definitely offered to have sex with you, Danny.
Uh,
I think that has happened.
I don't want to. I don't. I have anecdote was the word I was looking for. I have an anecdote about that, but I don't want to embarrass a very nice a lady that was very nice to me, possibly because she was trying to fuck me. But so like yeah, he smashes the guidance counselor starts smashing the fucking eggs on the window, which I'm pretty sure doesn't actually happen in the movie. Like, I mean, he says he pays for every egg that he breaks. Dante says that. Um, so I'm not sure if that's canon to the movie or not. But um, cut to another title card that says purgation. I've never heard this word before. Purgation.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, purgation. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Well, it sounds pretty per gay to me. So go to the next thing.
um, cut to a little girl, maybe about like 7 years old, handing Randall some money. I guess for some reason he's running a convenience store and Dante's not there. And he basically sells us some cigarettes. To where she it cuts. The movie shows her like putting a cigarette in her mouth. Dante comes back. I don't know. Maybe he went to go take a dump or something. Um, uh, and a guy comes up, buys uh, some cigarettes from Dante. To where I think Randall and him have a conversation about annoying customers, as we had earlier.
Yeah.
Um, and then he's like saying, uh, "Oh, it was the guy who played the fucking." By the way, the guy who played the fucking guidance counselor who was looking at the eggs, that's one of Kevin Smith's friends. Um, and he's played by the next customer who Randall is cursing in front of. The customer complains to Dante and Randall about Randall's profanity, to where he shows him a picture of a woman's vagina in a nudie magazine.
That'll show him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get like a big old like you can see all the way to her fucking like ovaries in that fucking
Yeah,
picture that he
exactly.
shows. Jesus.
Yeah, I
Can't
know.
believe they
Hustler
got away with
magazine.
that in a movie, in a rated R movie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this was like a Sundance movie. I think they
Yeah,
showed it
plus
on
I'm pretty sure that
Nintendo
movie's
Switch.
not meant to be seen in like 4K, which it's like it's out on 4K, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, the guy runs away, which I'm pretty sure like in I don't even know what you would do if you fucking some dude showed you porn. Um, but like yeah, he runs away and then Randall like complains to Dante about like I guess customers that are uh what's the word that are prudes or something like that. And he asked Dante, don't you like have customers that you dislike that ask you dumb questions to where they show a montage of people asking dumb questions. Um, I think one of them is like, hey, do you guys have any sales? And then one of the like behind this behind her is like a giant like sign that says like 99-cent sale or something. Um, which does happen a lot. Um, Yeah, just random shit. Like people ask him random shit, which we were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
Um, and so uh, and so Dante says, yeah, actually, there is one person that there is some customers that I dislike. I think it's milkmaids, and it's like some lady like going through each like gallon of milk inside the refrigerator, uh, like looking for something like the farthest expiration date. I think that's
Yeah,
played by
which is
Kevin Smith's
also a
mom.
thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I mean, there's some pretty fucking annoying people like that are you wouldn't believe like that's another thing too is like you watch this movie as a kid and you're like, "Oh man, this movie's so exaggerated," or you just kind of watch it like not really think. You meet these people in real life. It fucking sucks. Anyway,
Yeah.
as we mentioned before. Um to where the conversation is interrupted by Veronica um coming back in to visit Dante to where she gives him um a whole like an entire lasagna for him to scarf down, which probably explains why he's kind of pudgy. Um, and so they kind of like they reconcile about what happened earlier. She brought it to apologize to him about like getting mad about like the 12 girls that he banged,
That
and then
he's
she
that she went home and thought about it. She's like, Dante didn't fuck 12 girls, and so she comes back to apologize about the 37 dicks because she realized that she got trapped in a fucking conundrum or whatever.
yeah, exactly. She's a slut, and
Oh Jesus.
Dante's a loser. And he kisses her on the mouth, gross. And
Yes.
so um so then Randall makes fun of her and says like 37 as she's walking away. Um and uh and so cut to the next title card that says Malaise. Um
My favorite condiment.
um yeah, so I can't tell if you're saying mayonnaise or fucking marmalade. Um so oh man. The next the next scene shows Dante like talking on the phone. I think he calls who does he call? Um is he calling the wife of his boss or somebody that knows his boss to where he finds out that his fucking boss took a vacation to Vermont and
Oh
basically
jeez, he went all the way to what an asshole.
yeah, so they're in Jersey. So he went down to Vermont, like 2 states away. Was it like I'm
Yeah.
not good at geography,
Well,
so
he went left to Vermont, I guess. He went east. I think Vermont's in the. I don't know, dude. I don't care about the stupid East Coast. They can all eat shit. I hope it goes underwater. But go
yeah.
ahead.
True. Um. So yeah, he took a. So that means that Dante is basically forced to be there the whole day, um, and probably later as his fucking boss, like his weaselly boss, like fucking left him there to run the store by himself. Um. Yeah. For young people, don't go above and beyond because it'll just get taken advantage of.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%. Just but always do your work.
just well, I mean,
Be diligent. I mean, do your work that you have to do, but don't go above and don't don't do more than you should. Or
well,
you
that's what.
yeah.
Okay, so like people were talking about quiet quitting, right?
Mhm.
So quiet quitting is basically like you just don't. It's not actually just being a lazy piece of shit like Randall. Um, it's just get doing what you're paid for and not doing anything extra. Um, they used to call it working your wage. Um, so I think a lot of people can relate to that. I guess I've been using the word relate a lot in this. But yeah, like don't just work your wage. Like don't go the extra because there's like a lot of dickhead loser middle management um types that like they'll take advantage of your hard work. Um, you know, you're basically like a sucker to them, and you don't want to be like Dante in the situation. Anyway, um,
Yeah, because it goes it messes with your mental well-being more than anything. That's the thing that's the thing we're trying to warn you about. We're not trying to like get back at bosses or fucking fuck landlords or being big stupid communist Turkish guys, but
yeah,
we're it takes a toll on your mental health when you do really hard and then people just keep taking. So, relax and do your job, the things that are required, and then go home and pay you know uh relax and use your money, save up to do something good.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you can get into the conversation about like promotions and like that. I don't know. Pretty much you're pretty much stuck where you started in most cases.
Try to figure out what how old the people above you are. If
Yeah,
you have if you have a position where if you're in a position where you're a lower employee and in the manager there's a manager above you and you're going for that spot, if your manager's 40 years old, he's not going anywhere. So that's a dead end job. You know what I mean? If your manager
yeah,
is like a year older than you or around the same age, he's gonna be going somewhere, so you can get that spot eventually.
yeah, exactly.
Just gotta be
Or
smart about these things.
well, I mean, there's a lot of the people talk shit about like job hopping and stuff like that, but honestly, like I wish like people I would suggest that to some kids. If you're if your job doesn't really pay your bills that well and you're not happy in it, you should job hop. If you can make it work for yourself somehow to where you're you're not just living day by day, paycheck to paycheck, and you're able to do that with your dead end job, or you're able to do more than that with your dead end job. Then maybe you can stay there for a little longer. But I would recommend people like job hop. But so like yeah, so Dante's really upset about it because he has a hockey game coming up that he was going to go to 12 at 12 after 12 o'clock. Um, to where Randall's all like, "Why don't you just fucking close up the store and then go?" And he's all like, "Well, I can't do that." I don't think he gives a reason why. Um,
No, he just says he can't do it, which is very strange.
yeah, exactly. And so, well, it comes up later. It comes up later as to why he can't do it. But um, so he invites his group of friends. Um, he calls up his group of friends that were gonna have the hockey game, and they decide to have the hockey game on the roof um, of the store. To where there's like a fucking there's a montage of them playing hockey with super rad um like metal 80s metal music playing in the background. Um so I think they're only
Rad,
playing
radical.
yeah, I think they're only playing like so Dante closes up the store. Oh god, this is another thing too. Dante closes up the store so he can have his game
Oh,
with his
this is
friends.
man. It's so crazy
Yeah,
how relatable this shit is, because it's like, yeah,
especially to our situation. Like
yeah.
he
Oh
closes up
man,
the
try
fuck.
to have a lunch. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. He closed up they're lucky this motherfucker actually they had it worse because they don't have labor laws. He's like working with a shitty like small business owner um, who's like a scumbag, Mr. Krabs. Um, uh, for all you Zoomers out there. Um, and so you know, um, so he's trying to have the game, and so people are like, so like one customer, it cuts to like the outside of the store, to where the sign says the store is closed up until this time. It says temporarily closed, be open after first period, which I guess is something about the game or
Hockey,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, and so this fucking guy comes up and it says the store's temporarily closed, and this customer starts crawls up to the roof of the fucking convenience store and starts bitching to Dante about like opening the store. Um, and so he's all like, I'll open it later. Dante starts arguing with him and says, I'll open it later. And then he's all like, what the fuck? I want to go get like, I don't know what kind of dumb
He
shit he
wanted to
wants
get
to
some
get.
fucking. He wanted a fucking like Twinkie or some shit. It was or the newspaper. I think it was the newspaper. It was something
Honestly,
stupid. Yeah.
I'm getting like flashbacks and shit to where I would probably say, I think he wanted to buy a dildo to shove up his fucking ass or something like that.
Daddy really hates this character.
I would buy him a fucking dick so he could fuck off. So like, uh, what is it called? So so then like he starts like egging on Dante, saying like, "What the fuck? Why aren't you opening the store?" or something like that. To where like other people fucking start um trying the door and asking Dante if he's open. So there's like three fucking people like asking him if he's open, and then they both to where the fucking asshole and Dante are both say they start asking Dante if he's open, and they both yell no at the guy. And the first customer who's being an a-hole starts like taunting Dante for not being able to play hockey well. um and so that he's all like, well, why don't you fucking play or whatever. And then they start they he challenges Dante to like a one-on-one shoot off. um and so like they start setting it up, and then um they start setting it up, and so they're about to get ready to go. They set it up. They drop the ball in the middle of their hockey sticks. They're facing face to face on each other, and so the dickhead Moggs tackles Dante, steps on his shoulder with his jackboot, and then fucking launches the hockey ball off the roof into a fucking gutter, to where he fucking taunts Dante and tells him to eat shit. Um,
Tells him to eat shit. Hell yeah.
yeah, tells Dante to eat shit, and like calls him just to be a fucking fag about the store not opening. To where I don't know why these
I
fucking
don't even think
Jersey
he
dudes.
buys anything. I don't even think he buys anything. I think he
No,
just leaves.
he just fucks off. I don't know why they didn't gang up and beat the shit out of him.
Because it's fucking Jersey, not LA, dude.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I like. Can you imagine like that fucking faggot going up to like a bunch of like fucking? Okay, sorry. I'm like, I'm getting unhinged. Like going up to a bunch of like, I'm gonna say cholo guys for the sake of for the sake of not getting kicked off of YouTube.
Definitely not us.
I want to say something that starts with a W and ends with a part of your body that's not the front. Playing handball.
Uh-huh.
And then like him grabbing the handball and throwing it or something like that, he would get killed.
He would get brute force fucked.
So anyway, sorry Tony, my mic's messing up a little bit. Like I can't hear. Can you say something real quick?
Fuck everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
So that ends the game. That ends the game for everybody, and everybody's like, well, I guess the game's over now.
Yeah, and they drank up
sorry,
all the Gatorade.
Say what?
And they drank up all the Gatorade.
Do they complain about that? Like they ask for
Later on, they said, "Where's some Gatorade?" And he's like, "They drank it all." But yeah,
right.
what were we saying?
So okay, that ends that segment. To where the next title card is it interests so he only got 12 so they only got 12 minutes inside the game before that asshole showed up. So he wasn't even he wasn't even gone 12 minutes from the store before he had to go back to it, basically. And so like one of the dudes asks him for the free Gatorade, like you said, and then well, he says, "I'm not even supposed to be here today," which is something that people meme from this movie. Dante says that. And so he asks for the free Gatorade, and then they play the guitar riff afterwards, like wah wah, and that ends the segment. So the next title card says Harbinger. And that starts the next segment to where Dante's back in the that shows the next scene where Dante's back in the store. And he's like he's fixing a fucking light that went out in the convenience store. right? He's on a ladder fixing a light. Tony, you there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Sorry, my headphones are like fucking up really bad.
Oh, do you want to pause now?
Please, yeah.
Okay.
So it the scene shows Dante, he's like fixing a light on the roof. Like of course he's fixing a fucking light because he does too much in the well they'll say that later, but like yeah, he's going above and beyond basically for the fucking store. He's not even supposed to be there. Obviously as he keeps saying in the movie. But
It's basically his catchphrase.
yeah, exactly. Um so not only is he there way past the time that he agreed to with his manager or his the owner. He is also fixing the light that went out, maintaining the store. And so he gets approached by some old guy. Um, this older dude, I think he was like one of the only actors in that. If I remember correctly, I think Kevin Smith said that he was like one of the only like actual actors in the movie. Besides maybe the girlfriend and the other character that comes in. I think Randall was an actual actor as well, but I forget what the anecdote was he was saying about this particular actor was. But um,
Yeah,
so
Randall was an actual no. Randall is knows Kevin Smith in some kind of way because I saw some. I think in the I think in the commentary, or maybe this is something I read afterwards. The guy who played Randall, he only plays Randall as a favor to Kevin Smith. He doesn't really have any. He doesn't really want to be an actor. I think the only other movie I've ever seen him in was in Heat. Um, the scene after when not Robert De Niro, Al Pacino catches his wife with another man or whatever and leaves the house. He takes his TV with him, and then when he gets to a bus stop, he kicks the TV out of the car, and the TV smashes on the ground. And the guy at the bus stop is Randall from Clerks.
what a wow. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the only other time I've ever seen him in a movie.
Well,
I
he
mean,
was in Zack. And,
yeah,
sorry, he was in Zack and Miri Make a Porno, which is another Kevin Smith movie that where he
yeah,
basically plays Randall again.
yeah, exactly. So he's only in movies for like Kevin Smith, and that's it.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so this older guy, this older portly gentleman, goes up to um
Portly, survivor of a certain event, goes up to him. That's what we're talking
yes.
about, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
yeah.
Um, and so he tells Dante about an anecdote about a fluorescent light that he said that oh god, this is the worst joke out of the um that he knew a guy that like would chew fluorescent light bulbs in a um in a circus.
Mhm.
And so yeah, and he said and then he was and then Dante like finishes his story and says and he got cancer from eating the glass, right? And he's like no, he got hit by a bus.
Yeah, it was like it was the most hokey it was the most hokey old school comedian like Jackie Mason bullshit that you could ever put in a fucking movie. And I bet you that's where he got that guy from. He was like some crappy Jackie Mason comedian type guy, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um I think there was
Cuz he
something.
was awful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be the guy that he's playing or his accent or just his entire being
Yeah.
um that bothers that's I'm going to get myself kicked off of YouTube.
The fact that he exists.
Yeah, exactly. That bothers that bother the, well, that might also explain the next scene because he asks Dante to after he tells him that, he asks Dante if he could use his bathroom um in the store and he what does he say? Um yeah, he asks Dante to use the bathroom and I
Yeah.
don't know if like
And then he asks him for like soft toilet paper because of his hemorrhoid. And then
yeah.
he asks him for the Big Titty magazine because he wants to look at the articles or whatever.
Yeah, but the thing is that like um So like the thing is that he keeps not only does he ask him for like a big titty magazine. Okay, the bathroom was for employees only. That's what I was trying to figure out. Sorry, excuse me. Um, and so like yeah, he was trying to figure out if the bathroom was for employees only. So he's like saying, "Oh, I got hemorrhoids and I'm incontinent." Um, he's like, "All right, well, I'll let you use the bathroom." He's like, "Okay, also like do you have you guys got rough toilet paper back there. So because of my hemorrhoids, I need softer stuff. Like, can you just give me the stuff that you guys sell?" And he's like, "Okay." And then he's like, "Oh, and can I get those can I get that can I get a magazine because it's funny with the big tits or whatever?" And then he's like, "Okay." He's like, "No, no, no, not that one. Let me get the one with the bigger tits. The bigger tits are funnier." So he keeps asking him for shit and like more and more like stuff. And then Dante just keeps fucking like giving him the stuff that he's asking for because it kind of shows how much of a pushover he is, you know?
Mhm. Yep. Especially
Um,
that scene.
and that's what I was mentioning about that was what I was mentioning about like for young people or whatever. Like the manager asks him to do it, and then he screws him over, and he just says okay. Um, he just and then he just like bitches about it, and like this dude is obviously asking him for like stuff that anybody else would just say no, go fuck yourself, old man. Like
Mhm.
just over and over again. So he just like I said, he has no backbone. Um, so he gives the fucking old guy the porno mag um and and so after he does that the old guy goes to the bathroom and then Randall shows up. Um and Randall like says you guys don't have you what happened to all the Gatorade is like well the other fucking guys drank it all.
Mhm.
Um and so they're just hanging out bullshitting. It shows a scene of like Scott Mosier eating a hot dog and hanging out with Silent Bob. Um,
Yeah, for whatever reason.
yeah, and then they Randall and Dante start bullshitting again. Um, and they start talking about uh Dante's ex-girlfriend that's getting married to somebody. Um, and then they start talking about people that they know, and I
Mhm.
think they say that
On what? What are you talking about?
they talk about people. Sorry, excuse me. So they start talking about what is it called? Dante's ex-girlfriend getting married.
Yeah,
And they also
to that Asian guy.
yeah, exactly. That may or may not be Asian, or that the guy who designs Asian people.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
so he and then they start talking about people that they know, and I think Randall brings up that someone they knew died from a brain hemorrhage inside of a pool. I think. Yeah, she had an embolism in her brain. And yeah, she died in a pool. That's actually I think they make a callback to that in Mallrats as well.
Mhm.
Um oh, I think it was one of Dante's ex-girlfriends, one of the 12, I guess. And so they say that today is the girl's funeral. So he's all like, "Oh man, I got to go see her I got to go to the funeral then." So they close up the store. They close and then Randall decides he wants to go with them. So they close up the store again, head down to the head down to the funeral home. This is such a weird scene. Um, uh, they head down to the funeral home. I mean, the funeral home where the funeral's happening. And then they walk in, cut to the outside of the funeral home, and then they're running out. Apparently, they knocked over the casket.
Mhm.
Um, they knocked over the casket and had to run away. That's like the most unnecessary scene in the whole movie.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know why it's
it
in
served
there.
no purpose. The only purpose it served was for them to drive somewhere. Uh, uh, fucking Dante wearing my glasses. Um,
Yeah.
driving down to the thing where where Randall talks about his cousin dying from trying to suck his own dick.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, while they're driving to the funeral, he says that his cousin died from sucking his own dick.
Is there something in there like about
I think they talk about I think It's another like gaslighting type of joke thing where Randall tells him, well, he convinces Dante that it's okay for you to suck your own dick, like it's okay for you to try. It's just human nature. And then Dante at the end of it said he did try, and he's like, and then Randall's all like, I never did that. And he's all like, what? He's all like, yeah, that's gay. Which is like, yeah, which just goes to show you their dynamic, and that's kind of it. And then they get to the funeral and they explode the coffin and fireworks fly everywhere and everyone dies, and then they go back to the quick trip. A
Is
quick
that
trip.
a, is
I
that
mean, fucking quick stop. Whoops.
Uh-oh. We're gonna go to
Doxed
the quick.
myself, even though there's fucking quick trips all over the United States. Go ahead.
You're probably gonna go there later, is what you're thinking.
Hell
But
yeah. I was thinking about it.
after that they go back to the store and they start they start bullshitting again, like talking about how like Randall knocked over the casket.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, Randall knocked over the casket. And so they're sitting there. Another customer comes in. An older guy. There was a customer before that, but I guess it's not very important. He's just talking shit about Randall. Just like says how much he hates the customers. I think before that,
Mhm.
and this old guy comes in reading the paper. Um, or he buys a paper and starts talking to Dante and Randall about the news headlines in the paper to where Randall decides to spit soda in his face.
Yeah, which
Um,
is in the weirdest scene, in the weirdest, most out of character thing in the whole movie. He just spits soda in his face. It's really
uh,
weird. I mean, I it's like Randall's a jerk, but he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything in the movie that confrontational with people. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's true. I
He
mean, I
just
don't think
he
he's
always gets on the edge of pissing people off, but he never gets himself into a situation where he's gonna get his ass kicked. And that was the first and only time in the whole movie that he does that.
well. I mean, I think that the title card was Malaise, right? No,
Yeah.
no, no. It's Harbin. It was Harbinger. No, I'm sorry. It's Harbinger. I don't know. A Harbinger is like I guess like an omen or something like that. I have no idea. Oh well, actually, that might come up. That might come up later. Um, because there was the funeral scene. So
Mhm.
um, yeah, it's just I don't know. Yeah, really out of character for Randall. I think. As far as I know, I mean, he just sounded like he talked a lot of shit. I don't think he like was gonna like physically assault somebody, basically.
Yeah, that's
Um,
basically what it was. I mean, I know it sounds kind of pussy of us for us to do that or whatever, but it is assault, you know?
yeah, I mean, you're begging to get your ass kicked at that point.
Yeah.
So the next time, so after that, the next title card comes up. It says Paradigm. Um, to where Randall is checking out or ringing up a customer, and the customer is telling him how skinny he is. He's like a young guy in pretty good shape. Um, and tells I'm sorry, Dante is ringing somebody the customer up who's buying like a gallon of milk, and he starts criticizing Dante for being like out of shape and pudgy. Um, to where another customer comes up and they both start criticizing Dante's physique, and so the first customer is a
Well,
guy.
the chick that came up to talk shit was like saying that he wasn't that fat. And then when he was comparing him to himself, she's like, "Well, maybe he is a little fat."
Oh right.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
um, so I think the girl that comes up and talks to the guy is the sister of oh I'm sorry, there's a third customer that comes in and starts asking for Dante's name in the middle of this argument that they're having between each other because Dante starts defending himself. Um and so the third customer is wearing like a suit and some glasses and Dante writing something on a piece of paper. Um um and so um it turns out that the girl that was mocking Dante is the sister of a friend of his ex-girlfriend. Um yeah. Um and then they say that and then the guy that was making fun of Dante I think says he used to bang his ex-girlfriend uh while he was dating her.
Hmm.
So he reveals that his ex-girlfriend was kind of a slut. And also on the sorry, one thing I need to bring up, I just noticed this. Um well before the meme of the Chad, you know, the Chad walk,
Hmm.
the dude's sweater has what a guy that looks exactly like the Chad walk dude on his sweater. It's
Are
like
you
a
serious?
gym.
I never seen
Yeah.
that before.
Yeah, it's like it's a guy who looks exactly like the Chad walk dude.
Uh huh.
Um I mean, he's not wearing a shirt that says "ouch," but he's got like the Johnny Bravo hair and sunglasses and stuff, and he's in a pose that's similar to the Chad walk. Anyway, so that's something I didn't notice. And so they start talking about like that his ex girlfriend, that Dante's ex girlfriend Caitlin is getting married to an Asian design major, and um and so they what is it called? So the guy who the male customer starts saying to the uh you know, explains that he used to bang his ex-girlfriend.
Jesus.
Meanwhile the guy in the suit who's standing next to all three of them listening in hands has Dante a ticket for $500 to fine him for the sale of cigarettes to a minor, of which Randall sold cigarettes to that little girl. um and so he explains this to Dante right in front of the other two customers,
Uh huh.
and then they call him they both look at him with disgust. Um and I think like they start leaving, and the male customer threatens to kick Dante's ass, and he picks up the girl, and they both leave together. Um God damn, dude. I think Dante like it's crazy how many like threats of violence there is in this movie. Like
Yeah.
how accurate it is to life at a store like that.
Oh yeah, you get threatened all the time. No one ever does shit,
That's
but you
true.
get threatened all the time. Well, they're all
Unless,
pussies. Nobody's gonna do shit. Fuck you. I'll fight you right
yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly.
You
Unless you're the guy at the
people out
7-Eleven that
there.
we used to cruise.
Hmm?
Unless you're the guy at the 7-Eleven that we used to go to all the time, remember? Did you say you saw a guy fighting some one of the 7-Eleven owners like fighting some dudes outside the
Yeah.
7-Eleven? Yeah, crazy stuff. Right before the scene, Randall asked Dante to borrow his car so he can go rent a movie. Um, and so Randall goes to Blockbuster. It cuts to Randall like at Blockbuster enjoying the Blockbuster. Um, because he's so happy about it. Um, about being in a not shitty um movie rental place. Oh, sorry. Right before that scene, as right as the I guess the new couple of douchebags that just left, Caitlin ex Dante's ex girlfriend walks in to the convenience store. Um, so now we're now the scene is Caitlin and Dante like hugging each other and like um and talking about what happened with the newspaper articles talking about her marriage. And I think it was that Caitlin, the Asian design major, decided to propose to Caitlin, and her mom like jumped the gun and said that she was getting married to the newspaper or something. Um, to which she tells Dante in the movie in Randall's movie rental place.
Yeah.
But she basically says she wants to reconcile with Dante and start dating him again, Even though she basically cheated on him with the other dude that just left the store.
Yeah, we all been in that situation.
Uh, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
very. It happens.
Who knows? Like, what is it called? Bitches be crazy. So, yeah, Dante's really happy about it. Uh, cut to the scene of Jay and Silent Bob dancing outside. To which I've heard Kevin Smith hates that scene. Um,
I also hate that scene. I hate that scene. That scene is awful.
well, I mean, when most of your jokes are, uh, are dick and fart jokes. Like, what do you expect
Yeah,
people
they
to
are
fuck?
really the dark dick and fart joke of the movie.
I mean, Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back is. I think they made that joke like multiple times, right?
Yeah.
That
The only scene that's good is when they like I think them just acting like retards was just all a setup to do the ending of the movie. You know what I mean?
could be, could be.
Yeah. I mean
Um,
the end in the movie, where they have like a where Silent, spoilers I guess for the end of the movie, but when Silent Bob gives him his advice and Jay kind of gives him his like kind of I don't think he knew what the fuck he was saying, but it ended up being some kind of wise advice anyway. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
he has trouble. What's the word? Expressing himself through words verbally.
No, I think he doesn't
He
speak
doesn't
good
talk so
like
good.
he doesn't speak good like what we do. But he he I don't think he knew what he was saying or whatever, but it ended up being like something to think about, you know what I mean? What did he say at the Well, we'll get to that part. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a second. Fucking, I want to bring something up about like Kevin Smith being a little bit pretentious too, but
Yeah.
so so Randall comes back from the movie rental place, and he like, I guess Randall's gay because he rented a
I
fucking hermaphrodite porno, which I guess nowadays they would have cat ears and stuff like that, and he would be on he would be on posting on 4chan. But
Yeah, he'd be posting
like
on 4chan. Well, Randall would definitely be posting on 4chan, and he would also be. I think he said something about we need a right wing dictatorship, like militia or something like that, and I'm like, oh, he'd
did he
be
really
he'd
say
be
that?
he'd be in a certain political group with a certain catboy leader, but
Did he really say that?
he said something about that in there.
Good God. Um. Well, well then again, like I guess like cat cat boys and that type of thing isn't necessarily.
Yeah, hermaphrodite pornography, and
It's not. It's on both sides. Let me just say that. All right. I don't know what the hell. Like the more like the horseshoe theory. Like the closer each side has like a fucking like has a girl with a penis on it. I think at the end of it. Anyway.
yeah,
Um.
politics are gay. We're humble water filter salesmen. All right, go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. But um. And so I think
We're humble shit stained underwear merchants.
I like how we're talking shit about like the fucking lowbrow comedy of fucking Jay and Silent Bob. Anyway, so funny enough, the next scene is like Randall walking outside to like tell Jay and Silent Bob to leave, and then they put a sign on the door that says "I eat cock" on it.
It's the funniest shit ever because he sets it up perfectly, just opens the door and they're all like, and it's funny because they're like literally pointing and laughing at him. They're like pointing at him and going ha ha. It's really funny. Yeah, exactly.
um, to where the next title card says "Whimsy." Um, I probably would have put Euphoria, but whatever.
Oh
Anyway,
God, no.
no, not the anime.
I, I,
So
I was gonna say the TV show, but okay.
cut next scene is Randall watching the hermaphrodite pornography that he rented in the middle of the store. Randall is a fucking degenerate that should probably get his ass that probably should get his ass kicked, honestly. He's like just openly watching porn, although it is in the middle of the night. Anyway, um,
He
to
truly is the
where
princess of the night. All right, so we're saying
Caitlyn comes in and she's dressed like Terrence Trent D'Arby.
Caitlyn is
Um,
Randall Dante's girlfriend, which I don't think we said her name before. So just sorry bringing that up because I don't think you said her name.
uh, Dante's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Dante's ex-girlfriend. Um, yeah, she's like dressed like a fucking waiter at. You pointed this out. She's like dressed like a waiter at like a fancy French restaurant or something.
Yeah, she no, she
Um,
looks like a waiter from like either a French restaurant or like Shenanigans or something like that.
yeah.
She looks like she works at a maid cafe.
Yeah, exactly. So, to which she has like a small a small conversation with Randall about him watching porn. I was gonna say TRA, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, Irani so far away porn.
No,
Anyway,
no, no. But it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was hermaphrodite. That's different.
oh, okay, yeah. The only exception to what is it called, gender theory or whatever. So that people keep bringing up. Intersex. So then they have a small conversation about it, and then I guess they start talking about why she's there in the first place. To which Randall says that he will never forgive Caitlyn if she breaks Dante's heart. So I guess he does care about Dante. Um, obviously because she cheated on him like multiple times. Um, oh, Dante went home to like go change or something, and he left Randall there to watch the store. Um, so she asks him for like if there's a bathroom or something like that, so she can like freshen up before Dante gets there, and he points her out. Dante shows up wearing a Bill Cosby sweater, and
Oh yeah, the most horrible shit I've ever seen, even for the '90s. It was very bad.
yeah, it was pretty bad. And so and what does he say to him? He says like, "Hey, what's up, Randall? I'm back from the fucking uh, from the thrift shop that we used to work at, and I bought this awful sweater."
Yeah.
Um, I talked to the I talked to the workers there at the thrift shop for a little bit, and they called me a giant pussy. Anyway, so um, so after that, there's another scene that is there's another title card like right after that. It was like the shortest scene ever, the shortest like segment ever. I think what's the title card say? I think it says Quandary. Um,
Quandary. Okay.
and yeah, oh, Randall's looking at the sign, and then Dante comes in and says, "Who eats cock?" It's one of the funnier
One of the
lines.
better lines in there. I love quick-witted shit, which what Kevin Smith used to be good at.
Yeah, exactly. We can talk more about that later at the end.
Yeah.
And so Dante comments about the tranny porn. I mean, not that the
Ah,
'90s.
you
Yeah,
gave
I
me
fucked it up.
more work to do. But go ahead.
God damn
Continue,
it.
continue.
Okay. So and so he he starts asking him where Caitlyn is, and then Caitlyn comes out of the bathroom looking very pleased with herself. Um and so Dante obviously asks why this is the case, and she says, "Oh, well, you know, you were in there and I was in there and it was dark and I couldn't see, and then you were there waiting for me on the toilet. Um and so we banged on the toilet." So it turns out and so you know, obviously Dante wasn't there, so he's confused about the whole thing. Then she, you know, is wondering why he's confused and to stop and tells him to stop playing around. Turns out, surprise, surprise, she had sex with the fucking old man that wasn't back there. He died from jacking off in the bathroom.
He died from jacking off too much, like all jack offers should.
Yeah. So, um, to which I guess they call 911, and the uh I guess a police officer that like you know is documenting the whole thing um says that she's only seen this happen like once or twice, that he where he was like they also they he gets taken out by the
Well, they said that if this is the weirdest call she's ever been on, she's like, no, this is not the weirdest. She's like, what's the weirdest? He's like, some guy was trying to suck his own dick and broke his neck. And then Randall looks away.
Um, yeah. Also, while they're taking out the the old the old chosen person from sorry, my bad. I'll shut up.
No, it's fine.
The old guy, they have the porno mag that he was jacking off to on his body, I guess, as evidence or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
um so I just thought that was strange, but uh the lengths you had to go to when the internet porn wasn't available. But and so Caitlyn is obviously like, you know, traumatized from this and gets taken to the hospital with the dead guy that she just fucked, in the same ambulance, to save money. Um, so so Dante,
Danny, as an
okay,
aside, I
yeah.
saw I was for some reason in my YouTube recommended it was a big giant butt video with a chick with a
Right.
giant ass, and then one of the comments in the video when I looked at the giant ass, the one of the comments in the video was like, "Dang, you need a lot of toilet paper for that one." I don't know. I think that's perfect for this situation with this movie. But what were we saying? He goes out of that. He goes out of the thing, and then what happens?
I squeaked a little bit. Jesus Christ. Anyway, edit that shit out, please.
No,
Um,
it's going in. All right, tell me. Go ahead.
at least the part where I said I squeed. Anyway,
All
um,
right,
so
fine.
um, so after the ambulance takes Caitlin and Scott Mosier, for some reason he gets in the ambulance as well, um, away to the hospital. It cuts to Randall and Dante on top of the ice cream fridge. Um, and Randall is like asking Dante what his problem is and why he's so quiet or something like that. And well, he just explains basically everything that happened in the movie.
Hmm.
Um, the his shitty job, his current girlfriend sucking a lot of cock, um, his his ex girlfriend who wanted to get back, obviously having sex with a dead guy who was may or may not have taken a dump in the bathroom before jacking off, um, and uh, and also that he is not supposed to be there. So that it was his day off and he came back. Um, so Randall to all of this replies that you should quote shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, which is the truest
Um,
lesson in this thing.
yeah, I think this is the part where he starts basically telling Dante what he needs to do to fix his life, which is to quit the job and, try to get another one. Um, or just like basically try for something better, I guess. He says that Dante asked him to go back to the video store, but Randall decides to tell him that he's got a pretty good life with he could choose either one, his current girlfriend, or his ex-girlfriend.
Hmm.
But he basically just calls him a giant pussy. Um and that all these problems aren't really that big of a deal. Um and that he's just overreacting to everything.
Yeah.
Um so I mean, one thing that he said was that like you could probably get another job even though you're not. I mean, you probably qualified for the other jobs. So there's no point in like staying here. Like you say that he says one thing, I think like this place will fall apart without him or something like that, um even though it really wouldn't. I mean, the fucking, so that's one of those things. I guess he's like I mean, he never mentioned it in the movie, but I guess it's like some subtext that maybe he just like is making excuses to not quit the job. Um,
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You know what I mean? He's a
yeah,
victim of
exactly.
circumstance. So
Yeah, but
I think
also like
that's what Randall says. I think. Or that might have been Curly from the Three Stooges. I don't remember.
I mean, I don't know if it's a victim of circumstance, but at least he acts like he is.
Yeah.
Um, to which Dante like storms off from the scene, and to where this segment ends, and a new title card that says juxtaposition is shown.
Yeah.
Um, so the next scene opens up with Dante like taping together a dollar bill, I guess that was ripped, and Jay and Silent Bob walking in to buy some shit. Um, to where they make fun of him for selling the cigarettes to the what is it
The
called, to
little
the
girl.
young, yeah, little girl.
Uh,
Um, and then they start talking a bit about asking him if he wants to hang out or anything, and he says he doesn't hang out with drug dealers. Um, to where they start asking him about like the shit that happened inside the store
hmm
and the dude dying and that his girlfriend being a slut and stuff like that, which funny enough also happens when you have some drama inside the store or something, or some
Oh
crazy shit
yeah,
happens.
yeah. The regulars ask.
Yeah, we like you'd get like, okay, so at our place, at the place where we were working, there was like these regulars that would come in like sometimes twice a day.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and they would just be like so bored with like whatever the fuck. They're either old people or they're like, yeah, they're like resellers, um, that just hang out there all the time. So they're kind of like your coworkers, but not. They're just kind of assholes that just kind of hang around.
hmm
Um, and they're always trying to like um gossip about you or look for reasons why they're better than you and stuff like that, even though they're unhappy fucking miserable losers.
Oh yeah. I've never seen any. I've never seen more people with nice cars and like expensive stuff and like houses and stuff be more losers than you'll see there. You know?
Oh my god, even if that's even the case, maybe they're like, I assume that they're just like ducks, where they're kind of they look fine over the surface, but their legs underneath the water are swimming like crazy.
Yeah.
So it's all, we used to live in California near LA, and
hmm
you know, everything is fake. Everything is fake. Everybody's trying to posture, and everybody's trying to scam each other into thinking that they're in a better position than they really are, so
hmm
that they can screw you over too and make you just as miserable as they are. Um, so yeah, but point being, they're always looking for to be in your business or try to embarrass you or something like that. But although in this case, Jay starts talking about Dante's girlfriend, like seeing his girlfriend come in there, and like he starts explaining, "Oh yeah, that girl's really nice. Like I always see her coming in here, rubbing your back, bringing you food, and one time changing your tire." To which Dante was all like, "Hey, I jacked up the car." Um, so also showing that Dante can't even fucking take care of himself, basically.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Dante's a fucking loser, man. Um, and he says that like he just Jay says like all girls like just use him for his weed, and that's pretty much it. But that girl actually likes him, to where he starts rambling a bit, uh and then just kind of leaves because I think he just, if anything, it kind of looks like he got himself mad and then walked out. He calls Dante a fucking faggot. um but so then right after Jay leaves, um Kevin Smith, obviously I think everybody knows his name is Silent Bob, um speaks for the first and last time I think in the movie, um and then says that basically sums up what Dante should do, which
hmm
is to be with Veronica because uh, Caitlyn just cheated on him a lot, even though she's good looking. He treated her badly, and Veronica is
Oh,
actually
there we go. That's what I'm sorry. I just wanted to say the thing that Jay said. I actually had to look up the script to find this because I couldn't remember what he said. So Jay says, he says, my grandma used to say, which is better, a good plate with nothing on it? No, wait, I fucked up. Oh shit! In the script it says, no, wait, I fucked up. Damn. Okay.
okay.
Is it what's better? Wait, what's a good-looking plate with nothing on it?
Ah, I got you.
Yeah, and he said, what he says like Dante says meaning, and then Jay's like, I don't know. She was senile and shit. She used to piss herself all the time.
Piss herself, shit herself.
Yeah.
God damn, dude. Um, by the way, jokes we steal all the time, but
I know, but it is a true statement. You know what I mean? If there's
yeah,
no food on the plate, then what's the point of it being super nice? And then Silent Bob reiterates the thing at the end where it's like there's a million good-looking girls in the world, but none of them bring you lasagna. They just cheat on you, which is basically what Jay was trying to say.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
To which Dante has the epiphany saying that, oh, they're right and stuff like that. I mean, this is my thing about the here's my thing about the movie though. I'm sure this is like Kevin Smith's like weird fucking like I mean, he does come off as a little pretentious sometimes. Well, actually most of the time if you've listened to his podcasts now and like overly dramatic and stuff like that, which I guess is Dante's character um in the movie. But like I'm sure this is like some kind of like Shakespearean type of thing where the the dude's like um I think he mentioned that before in one of his podcasts that I guess the background characters come back in. I guess they're technically watching everything that's happening. And
Mhm.
so at the end they comment to the crowd to sum up the moral of the story, I guess. Um yeah. So I guess that was supposed to be some kind of like weird callback to like theater and whatnot, like Shakespearean theater or what have you. But I mean, this is fucking dick and fart. This is the dick and fart joke guy and like the fucking soy dude before. I mean, he was soy before, but now he's like just fucking ridiculous. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to mention that before we move on to the next scene. So right after that scene with Jay and Silent Bob, uh, I don't know. He used to shit himself all the time. Anyway, so right after that scene with Jay and Silent Bob, um, it cuts to Randall in the movie store with Veronica. Was Veronica supposed to do something with Dante,
Yeah,
which would
they were
explain.
supposed to go to dinner or something.
Yeah. So Randall is explaining to Veronica, basically breaking up with Veronica for Dante, because he's decided that um uh he's decided that that's what Dante wants, so he thinks he's doing him a favor.
Yeah.
Um,
Meanwhile,
and
it was all a scam to get Dante all for himself.
well, that's what is that what the second movie said?
I think the second one implied that he was gay because I think he was getting a lot of people implying that Randall was gay, but I don't think he's gay. I think he's just a good friend.
No, I think he's gay because he was watching tranny. He was watching hermaphrodite porn.
No, I don't think he's gay at all.
Well, he also mentions
He's just a good friend. A good friend is a better wife than an actual wife. So
what I don't think they would want to hear that though. But
no.
one thing though is that he also says that Dante's probably a late is hiding his latent homosexuality. So um yeah, so I don't know. Fucking I don't know. Kevin Smith shits all fucks up his own fucks up any good thing that he has going. So um obviously in this movie that points that out, I guess. Um cut to Veronica kicking he kicked Dante in the shin to where she's lambasting um Dante, taking him to task about like how much of a loser he is and how much she stayed around for him. That hoping that he was gonna hoping that he was gonna use some of his talent, whatever that means, to um using some of his talent to like get out of this place and maybe go back to college. I think they mentioned something earlier in the movie about him going back to college.
Mhm.
Um and telling him that reminding him that Caitlyn cheated on her to where he's like trying to explain what happened. Um But yeah, she basically just calls him a loser that's not going to go anywhere, and that she wasted some of her life on him,
Hmm.
and said she's going to go fuck a bunch of dudes now. She's going to get a train run on her, basically. Um, and I wanted to do a callback. She storms out of the store, out of Dante's life forever, I guess. But I want to call back that scene with the counselor where he's like looking for eggs and stuff like that. I feel like that there's something about that where like a lot of counselors, like college counselors and stuff like that, they kind of especially in college, they kind of don't know what the fuck they're doing, I think. Um and it shows that that counselor that's supposed to tell people what to do with their lives in college is crazier is like a crazy is a crazy person.
Hmm.
Um I don't know if the eggs represent something where it's like he's looking for like the perfect egg by weight, whatever. Maybe that's just a commentary about like the perfect thing to do with your life, maybe. Um, I mean, an egg is supposed to represent new life, right? This is just me bullshit. But so like, and then he just smashes them up against the wall at the end of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like if that's something Kevin Smith, because it's so out of place um in there. So, but because there everything is episodic, so it seems like everything's kind of random. The people that come in and out, especially with the talk about like pop culture, the talk about like weird sex stuff,
Hmm.
um, the dick and fart jokes. But that scene kind of stuck out to me for that particular reason, especially with the the theme of not knowing what to do with your life or having two paths to choose from, trying to pick the right one. They both got their bad points. They both got their really good points. Um, looking to the past for looking to the past to try to relive something good that happened, or and then not or moving on from that. Um, with the even though like this one's not that great, or the new path is not perfect or what have you.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's just something I wanted to point out because it's something I noticed reviewing the movie, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe I've never heard Kevin Smith talk about that particular scene. But so it's just me speculating. Um, so moving on. Um, so the new title card shows up, and it's called Catharsis. Um, and so cuts to a scene of Randall leaving uh, the movie rental store, walking into the convenience store to go bother Dante again, and he gets attacked by Dante. They have a fight scene,
They have a
like a
big fight
montage of
scene where they're all gay.
yeah, and then they fight each other, and then they're fighting each other. I don't know why this also stuck out to me, but Randall pushes Dante as Dante's trying to strangle him into a rack of magazines, and the first magazine has Brandon Lee on it. So I don't know why that stuck out to me. I just thought it was weird watching Brandon Lee. Oh, keep that in mind. Brandon Lee is on the cover. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
keep that in mind for the end of the movie. All right. Um. So um. So they have like a drawn out fight scene where they're fighting each other. Then after they're done fighting each other and destroyed the store, I guess they're talking to each other because they're too tired to fight anymore. Um. Uh. Dante tells Randall what happens, and Randall explains, I thought I was doing you a favor, um, and that you didn't have to do that. And so Dante starts blaming Randall for a lot of his issues. He starts blaming him for, well, I mean, some of it is actually his fault, like selling the little girl cigarettes
Yeah.
and messing up the funeral that they were just at, um, and then ruining his relationship with Veronica. Um, and and then he espouses, and then Dante laments his life while saying, he's not supposed to be there. uh, Randall freaks out at Dante saying, basically everything is his fault. He decided to close the store with for to play hockey. He decided to call up Caitlin or like hang out with Caitlin. Um, Starts telling him, it's your fault for your own problems. Um, and tells him basically that um, yeah, basically he just reiterates just quit your job already and move on to something else.
Hmm.
Um, and that he starts talking about his own life that he doesn't um he's already accepted that he's not going to be able to move on from where he's at, um and that and that maybe they deserve to be in the positions that they are in.
Yeah.
So I think that Randall has some like self-awareness, maybe some a little bit of like a self-loathing, I suppose. um, because I guess he yeah, he's already accepted that he's a shitty person working at a shitty job.
Yeah.
Um, to where the scene ends there. He like storms off. He storms off for a bit, and the scene ends there. The next title card says, what does that say? Sorry. Uh, denouement, denouement. Um, and so this segment, the scene opens up with
It's bad.
Randall and Dante cleaning up the store. I guess they probably stayed.
Yeah, and Dante was like a salsa shark. No, no, Randall would say that.
No, he said that. He said that when they were on the refrigerator.
Salsa
Uh,
shark.
yeah, after Caitlyn had sex with the dead guy.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Best line in the movie. Salsa shark.
um, there's more to that. I just can't remember what it is.
Um, what is it? Man goes. Was it man goes in the cage? Cage goes into salsa. Shark's in the salsa. Our shark.
I hate pop culture. Anyway, um, so um, which is why I do this podcast. Um, so uh, after they finish cleaning, which I assume they did after hours in the store, so actually Dante ended up staying longer than he should than the store hours needed him to. Um, and so they start talking about what they're gonna do tomorrow. Um, and Dante asks Randall if he's gonna show up for work tomorrow. He says yes, and then Dante says he's gonna call out. He's gonna talk to Veronica, and he's probably gonna get something to eat with her. Um, he tells Randall that he'll give him a call about what they do after that.
Yeah, and then they live happily ever after.
Um,
We're coming up on 2 hours.
oh shit, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so they basically say, see you tomorrow, most likely. And Randall walks out of the convenience store while Dante sings the Berserker song or something like that. The
Yeah.
one that the demon dude was singing. And so Randall throws him.
He throws
What
him
is
the
that?
sign. He says you're closed.
Ah, yeah. We're open sign. It says they're
Yeah.
closed, and then after that, the movie cut to credits. The movie goes black, cut to credits, and then nothing was supposed to happen after that.
No, nothing at all.
Um,
All right. Good night, everybody. So
yeah.
no, the
Credits
original ending
roll.
to the movie was supposed to be Dante gets shot and then they get robbed or whatever. Um
No,
the hmm?
Dante gets robbed at the end of the day and dies,
And
right?
dies, yeah. And then luckily Harvey Weinstein stopped molesting a young girl long enough to fucking be like, dude, no, you
Did he
can't
say
put that
that?
at the end of the movie, huh?
Was it Weinstein that made that decision?
Yes.
Really?
So studio heads or whatever, they were like, no, that's not a good idea. So he had to take it out. But
Really?
it's a stupid ending anyway. Why would you want to like? It just kills the momentum of the movie. You know, it's just shock for the sake of shock. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, there's two ways that you can look at it like that, um, which honestly is probably well, I'll say this afterwards, um, or you can look at it like maybe it's like, by the way, what I brought up earlier, Brandon Lee was on a magazine when they were fighting. Brandon Lee got shot on a movie set.
Right.
Um, so I just thought that was weird. We by the way, we watched The Crow like a while ago. Don't wait for that.
Don't
Don't
wait
wait
for
for
that
that
review. The movie's fucking excellent. Go watch it. There's really nothing to say about it. Okay. Well, anyways,
exactly.
so that was the original ending. It wasn't a good ending, and that was the cracks starting to show in the armor of Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith now is a hack fraud. We
Whoa,
can't.
hold on a sec.
No,
You
he's a
could look at
hack
it like
fraud.
that.
Okay.
No, okay, hold on a sec. Let me defend it for a second. Well, let me defend it for a second. So you could look at it like you could look at it like just being like overly dramatic, or you could look at it as a call for people to do something with their life before it's too late. Um, because Dante does not get a chance to reconcile with Veronica. He doesn't get a chance to do any of that stuff because he decided to stay at the convenience store for too long. By the time he realizes what's going on, it's already too late. Um, or pulls his head out of his ass, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
So I think it's a call. I mean, Kevin Smith said he was going through all this, a lot of similar stuff at the time.
Yeah.
He said he recorded some videos that were foreboding about like his inevitable like
Downfall.
jump into no, not inevitable downfall, but jump into stardom. Um,
Hmm.
and so you could look at it like that instead. That maybe it's an allegory for or it's a tragedy, I guess. That's what he wants to do because like I said, the Shakespearean thing earlier, obviously because he wants to like huff his own farts to an extent, but um or like like I said, he's a bit pretentious, but
He's very
so yeah,
pretentious.
you
Let's bash him.
okay. Okay,
Let's
yeah. So
bash him.
with that being said, I fucking that's a shitty ending to the fucking movie. Fuck that ending.
Okay,
Because it's like
the
so.
ending feels abrupt. The ending that he ended it with feels abrupt. There should have been
Yeah.
some kind of, I don't know, some kind of thing at the end, but you know, he had to write something stupid like that instead of writing, I don't know, like just end the movie with him driving home. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. I mean.
It's like you're closed, and then it feels like there's more to that scene. But if it's like, I don't know, you know what I mean? People can. It's been done. You know what I mean? Just have Dante drive home and Randall walk away, and then the guy, and then like have the guy from the guy who was mad that they were closed before come back and be like, what the fuck? Like they're closed, and then just end the movie right there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, end it on a laugh. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
Um. Well, something that came up. I was watching his yeah. I was watching Kevin Smith's podcast
Mhm.
recently, which by the way he said he loved the Flash movie. Of course he did because he's become a shill. Um. He there was this guy who they screened Clerks 3, right? And I
Mhm.
guess at the end of Clerks 3, spoilers, um at the end of Clerks 3, Dante dies from a heart attack. Um because Kevin Smith had a heart attack. Um so Dante dies from a
And
heart attack
unfortunately, didn't die. But what?
and um and I think Randall makes a Clerks movie or something like that.
Mhm.
Um and so during the screening of that movie, this guy like apparently this is what I learned from the episode that I watched. This guy like they were asking people questions, and then one guy came up to uh the microphone and said that, oh, that movie sucked. and then like everyone's like, oh, and like I guess Kevin Smith asked him why, and he said that he betrayed his audience and that he should have ended it differently. Um,
Mhm.
and So they were talking on the episode that I watched. That's what happened at the screening of Clerks, I think at a premiere or something like that. And so the episode that I watched, they had that dude on the podcast again, and they asked him they argued a little bit about the movie, and he said that, okay, well, why do you think it was a betrayal or something like that? And he said, because you tried to do that with the first movie and it
Mhm.
was a bad idea, because Kevin Smith was like, oh yeah, I tried to kill I killed Dante in the third movie, but
Mhm.
I tried to kill him in the first one. And he's like, yeah, and that was a bad idea. Like, you should have had the third movie ending with like I think either Dante or Randall. No, Dante making a movie, becoming a um, becoming a movie director,
Mhm.
and um, uh, and Randall staying at the convenience store, to where okay, this is kind of cheesy, but the a kid coming in and saying like, oh hey, is this where Dante Hicks made his movie? So, and that's how he should have ended the movie. Like, he's just straight up told Kevin Smith to his face how he should have fucking ended the movie.
Nice.
Um,
What a hero.
yeah. So,
How about
and
how
so
about this though? How about don't make a fucking third one? You already ended it in the second one. They bought the quick trip. They lived
oh,
happily
that
ever after. They married
quick
each
stop.
other. They got gay
Mhm.
married because it was legal.
Did
And
they?
they bought the quick stop or whatever. And remember, Jane Silent Bob were billionaires from selling weed.
Oh.
So they bought the quick stop for them,
Oh
and they're like,
yeah,
but we
I
get to hang
forgot.
out in front of it. So he already did a cheesy ending. He just wanted to kill the franchise. He didn't want to kill Dante. He wanted to kill the franchise because he's tired of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's tired of the thing that he did the best or whatever. And I get the feeling. I'm not a create like I do art. You know what I mean? I do art. We do the show and all that stuff. I've never made anything that had legacy to it, so I don't know the feeling of like having to like have a magnum opus or whatever.
Mm.
But I do see this with a lot of creators that they create something, especially in movies and animation and things like that. Music, they always the thing that is the most popular that people love the most, they hate the most for whatever reason.
Right.
I probably because it keeps bringing up and it overshadows all the stuff that they try to create because you always want people to, as somebody who makes something, you always want people to enjoy the things that you make. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when you come up with something new, you want it to be better than the last thing that you did. So when you get stuck in a rut where everything you're making is not better than the things that you made last, it kind of makes you feel down. You
Right.
know what I mean? But it's not your fault. You know what I mean? It's just that people uh just you peaked or whatever, but that's the point. Now you have to kind of ease back into making it a hobby or making it into something good or whatever. Directors like Kevin Smith or like people like animators from like a lot of Newgrounds guys, they hate their old animations and now they do like let's plays and stuff like that, because they don't want to do animation anymore, nothing's going to top what they did before,
Right.
um Kevin Smith, he just wants that franchise to die, and he wants everything else. Because he tried doing creative things and nobody liked them. He tried doing the stupid Walrus movie, and nobody liked it. He tried Yoga Hosers to get his dumb daughter's career off the ground or whatever, so she doesn't get into porn. Um, he tried to he tried it with the Red State movie, trying to make a fucking like, oh man, so edgy, like serious movie. It didn't work. He can't make a good movie anymore. You know what I mean? All he can do is
Right.
goofball comedies, and his goofball comedies are kind of alright. Even Clerks 2 was alright to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Um, uh, it was another like, I don't know. It was kind of like, in movies, in animes, when they take
Yeah.
they take their power levels away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The
Where it's
power.
like I lost all my power or whatever. That was kind of how Clerks 2 felt because they ended up working at the fast food place or whatever.
Right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's still like everything cool. Like that movie is also is not as good as the other one because everything good happens to them. Like bad things happen to them, but they're just it feels like if Clerks 2 feels a little bit more like Mallrats than it does Clerks. You know what I mean? Where
Is
they
it
get into
like
extravagant situations instead of it being like an allegory for like life and moving ahead or whatever. I also want to have sex with Rosario Dawson, but she didn't have to be in the movie. You know what I mean?
it's less grounded,
It's
basically.
less grounded, yeah. But anyways, that movie already had to bring it all back full circle, whatever. That movie already had an ending. The ending was fine. The franchise was done. There was no need to make a number three. You know what I mean? There was no
True.
need to make a number three, but Kevin Smith has it in his head that he has to make something better. He has to make something better. So he's like, this is the third one. This one's good or whatever. This is what do you call it? Cause dude, like when Red State came out, he was on there with his gay lover Ralph Garment.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
was like he was like stroking his own fucking dick about Red State, how great it was and how what do you call it? I'm like, this is a shitty like I could like fucking this looks like some college kids horror movie idea of a horror movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, it's just it's not scary. It's stupid. It's eye rolling. Oh man, oh those conservative Christians they go around kidnapping and killing the gays. Oh my God, that's you know what I mean?
It really was like a
You know what I
well,
mean?
I mean, I don't know, his foray into politics and whatnot.
Yeah, that was his first thing. Well, he got Trump derangement syndrome after that, much like most celebrities, and then he just turned into a big whiny wiener. You know?
Oh my God, yeah.
Freaking
Well,
crybaby, like dumb pothead loser. You know what I mean? I don't care how many
well, I mean,
mansions he has. He's a fat retard.
like one thing that okay, so to add to that a bit more is that well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I could you we don't know exactly what he was thinking at the time. I don't think he said it um in the episode that I watched. But to me, what I think what it was that like is basically saying that yeah, I think to your point to say that he needs to do something better or something like that. I think he's trying to like say that he's done with that, but that part of him is also dead, I guess. So maybe that's why he's doing that. I mean, it's just like the edgy gay way of doing. Yeah, you're right. A lot of people fuck up their own movies in uh with the sequels. They just like do a full 180 of like saying fuck that old movie um instead of just like being happy with what they created. So, um
Yeah. I
but
mean, he makes all these movies with like giant budgets and all this crazy stuff happens, but it's all like, dude, like you literally made a movie. The budget on Clerks is surprisingly high for some reason.
mhm,
They spent a lot of money on that movie, but it just feels natural. You know what I mean?
right.
It's like it's like this guy doesn't know how to get out of his own way and just like bring it down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well,
He's weird. He's got like this weird Axl Rose thing where it's all like, hey, we're a rock band, but let's get a big giant orchestra in this bitch now. And it's like, what are you doing, dude?
yeah, exactly. That's not what people want from you.
Yeah.
First of all,
And it doesn't matter what the fans want. It doesn't matter what the fans want, but he is trying to get their approval.
you might
You know
be
what I mean?
right. Yeah,
Make something that you
actually.
like. You know what I mean?
Well, I
Something
mean,
that feels grounded.
maybe he's just looking for it too much. And then like sometimes he goes through the opposite thing and makes like that Yoga Hosers movie, which is just purely him like. Well, no, that could also be a because I think his last couple of movies he made because he was joking about it on his podcast, and then like since has such a big podcast audience, he just listens to like his fans on
What
which
that's
I
what
guess
I'm saying.
they're a bit sycophantic though, so like of course they're gonna be
Yeah, they
especially
just
when
blow
they're
smoke up his ass and say he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he's like the worst thing since the grimace, you know?
um yeah, can we kill the grimace though?
No, you No, the grimace nothing can kill the grimace.
Well,
But the grimace can be assaulted. So We'll get you one day.
um, okay, but one thing that I think, another thing that I learned about Kevin Smith in the in his podcast was that he decided to stop smoking weed
When?
5 weeks ago.
5 weeks ago? Okay, cool. Hopefully some good movies spring up from that.
I don't know.
His
That's
brain's
my
already
issue.
fried. There's no amount of not smoking weed that's gonna fix his brain.
I think like he had said that like he wasn't present enough, um, because of it.
No, he said no,
Um,
no, no, no. If I remember, no, no. On Smodcast, he said that weed made him a better director.
yeah, that's what
No,
an
it made
addict.
him better, dude.
That's exactly what an
And
addict
Scott
would say
Mosher
to
was like,
you.
"No, dude, you smoke too much. Like, dude, you smoke like every 5 seconds." He's like, "No, no, no, it makes me a better director, dude. I'm not addicted. I'm not addicted." And Scott Mosher's like, "Well, cut back a little bit." And he's like, "No."
So, I mean, I don't know. Nowadays,
Crazy.
he's like a fucking shill for anything comic book related. Um, he's
Comic books
like,
have always been gay. Hot
yeah,
take.
they really have been. Yeah. Um,
So, anyways, go ahead.
yeah. So like, saying how much he loved the Flash movie and he's like an old man. Like, like old people, they just love everything that like is big and is a spectacle, I guess. Like, isn't this great? We have like Michael Keaton as Batman again, and fucking I love DC. Please pay me, get me to do stuff for you. Yeah, please reference me more in the movie because I think they reference like the Jack Nicholson Superman in the Flash movie.
Yeah.
Um, which was his the Superman movie
Not
that
Jack
he was
Nicholson.
working
You're
on.
thinking of Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Fuck. Please get rid of that. Well, yeah,
No, it's staying in. So,
yeah. Jack Nicholson was in Batman. Michael Keaton. So what was I gonna say? So yeah, Nicolas Cage.
Kevin Smith's a
They
hack
referenced
fraud.
that.
He's horrible. I still love his like I said, I love Clerks.
Right.
Mallrats, I can take it or leave it. Dogma's a good movie. Um, that's it. Nothing else. Clerks 2 is good. Has good moments in it. Has good moments, but and like I said, I want to have sex with Rosario Dawson. But uh, yeah. I mean, there's nothing good. He hasn't made anything good. He's done. He's finished. You know what I mean? Just leave it to the new crop of what do you call it? The sad part about him becoming a hack fraud and just going away is that I don't think we're ever gonna get any like down to earth movies anymore. You know what I mean? Like good indie, this can happen in real life, relatable movies anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'd say one of his problems. Well, I think that maybe I don't know. Maybe that was just a fad in the
Because
'90s.
because even
Who knows?
movies that are down to earth and realistic, they still have retarded stuff in them because everybody's just rubbing their dick like film school homos. You know what I mean? It's like even the whale, which it's like on its face, it sounds really good. He's a Discord janitor. He's a Discord Janny that his husband dies or whatever, and the plot of the whale. Look out for a whale review because I do really want to watch it. Um, yeah, and he's a big fat guy. He's dying, blah blah, blah, and all this stuff happens, right? And then at the end, I mean, like, I've seen clips. I don't know what happens, so I'm not spoiling anything. But I've seen clips of him like he floats into the air, like he flies into the air.
Really?
Yeah, and there's like light around him, and I'm like, what is this garbage? Why did you have to put this in this movie about this fat retard? You know what I mean? Like, why did you have to put that in there? It's so lame. It's gross. You know?
Right.
Yeah. The ending of Birdman is shit.
Right.
I mean that like he flies away. Kill yourself. You know? There's this great movie about it's first of all shot in one scene is talking about the production of a theater with all these different characters who are all really good and everyone's egotistical and they're trying to make it work and it's great. It's just just a movie about everybody's ego's got to get out of the way so we can team use the power of teamwork to get this production going. You know, and then he flies through the air. Stop. You know,
Right.
Stop with the artsy fartsy bullshit in movies that are grounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
So yeah,
Um, I I mean, maybe I don't know. We'll see where it goes, I guess. Cause I mean, people have been telling Kevin Smith to stop smoking weed for years. Um, and they probably also said to go, start maybe do what you used to do. But maybe you're right. Maybe he's just done. Um,
I think he's
I
done.
mean,
There's
I
a lot
think
of
he,
directors that are done that don't need to keep going. I mean, I think even Spielberg has stopped at this point. You know?
yeah, it sucks. They're in retirement age and whatnot. I mean, Martin Scorsese, I don't think I've seen one of his movies.
No, Scorsese hasn't done anything in a bit.
Well, he
Spielberg
did.
finally stopped, but Spielberg was like on the decline for a little bit.
I mean, The Irishman,
Yeah,
was
that wasn't Scorsese. That was Coppola.
I'm an idiot. Sorry, my bad.
It's fine.
Is Martin Scorsese dead? I don't know. Fuck. Edit this shit out.
All right.
Edit this shit out.
Oh, I thought you said end it now. I was
No, I
like
said edit.
gladly, because we're at
No,
an hour 15.
no, edit the shit out.
All right.
So, um, yeah, really don't know what Kevin Smith should do. Apparently, there's other people that he allows to be around him,
Mhm.
or allows to go to his shows to criticize him openly, uh, and bring up some really good points. So maybe that's a part of like maybe that's a bit endearing, but you know, uh, his personality is really abrasive, especially when he talks about shit that he really doesn't like. He really shouldn't be talking about. I don't know if he's completely embraced his shill mode for like anything geeky and nerdy, even though he's he seems like he's resented it for a majority of his life.
Mhm.
Being you know, being a fan of all that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I'm not really sure what he should do or where he should go from here. Maybe podcasting is maybe he should just stick to podcasting. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much the Clerk review. I mean, yeah, definitely go watch it if you're a young person stuck. Try to ignore everything else that comes after that. Kind of like the ending of the movie. Just kind of ignore that or whatever. Yeah, and just I guess get out of your own way, like the movie's telling you to do. Uh,
Maybe if I okay, here's the plan, dude. I'm gonna start banging his daughter,
okay.
and then I'll get into his ear about movies, and then I'll manipulate him and make him write the movie that I want to do.
Maybe we should just go to one of his shows and be all like, "Hey, queer, uh, fucking
Let me bang your daughter. All right, end the show.
no, like do Clerks the TV show again." That was like
Oh yeah, redo it. Right now is a perfect time.
Clerks the cartoon show. Like do a not a Netflix thing, but maybe like Amazon or something like that, where they give you a
Yeah.
bit more
Oh, that's a
freedom.
good idea, dude. Do a Clerks animated series or whatever, and then Trump can come out in the middle of it and be like, "Clerks, you guys have." I can't do a Trump, but
Um,
then he,
N-
you damn
don't talk about
clerks.
politics for fuck's sake,
Who,
Kevin Smith.
me?
Don't fucking no, dude,
That's
Kevin
what's
Smith.
gonna be on the show. That's what's gonna be on the show.
Don't talk about fucking politics. Just fucking make a good show about like other shit. Like, good God, man, you're not built for that. I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what's gonna happen. Trump's gonna be the bad guy of the new Clerks show. All right. Okay.
That's true.
We'll end it here. Harley, call me.
All right. Well, Ralph Garman, you're a hack. I hate your
Yeah.
guts.
Ralph
You're the
Garman
worst part.
sucks. Fuck K Rock. Kevin and Bean can suck a dick. Kevin Smith's an asshole. Harley Quinn, whatever your retarded name is, give me a call. All right.
Comic book movies are not they're not what we dreamed about. They're tainted by stupid dickhead people that don't even like comics making them more retarded. This is not the fucking this is not what we wished would happen. It's like it's retarded now. It's not what we wanted. It's not what people with that liked comic books wanted when they were kids.
It's
Anyway,
not what people that watch movies want. Nobody wants to watch a comic book. All right. Anybody with the name with the comic book in their screen name's an asshole. All right. Good night, everybody.